promised, it's Flower Friday. And in my kitchen this morning, I have Miss Carrie from Little Black Barn Co. So as we're coming into spring and I'm thinking about what I want in my house, I love to go to Trader Joe's and buy flowers, but I don't know what to do with them all the time. Like, this is a perfect example. I bought tulips and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna plop you in a vase. And I don't know much about prepping and styling them. So we started chatting on Instagram and I thought it would be really fun for her to come and teach me and teach you how to actually like make an arrangement and have it look amazing with just things you pick up from the grocery store. So I'm gonna put her on the spot and make Miss Carrie tell us a little bit about, you know, what she does and your company a little bit, and then we're gonna start creating some stuff.
Aww. Yeah, I'm so blessed to be here with Jacqueline, and yeah, it's absolutely true. You can go to your local Trader Joe's, and it doesn't have to be some extravagant process, and I'm gonna teach you some simple tips and tricks just to make an arrangement in your home and grab your favorite flowers from your local store.
And make them perfect. Well, my favorite thing, so this morning she's unloading, there's all these flowers on the floor, wait till you see them. And she tells me a little trick about Trader Joe's. Tell them, mind blown.
Okay, so when you have an event or you have Thanksgiving or Christmas and you are trying to find flowers for those times, Trader Joe's will actually order you, make a special order, and you can actually go in and you can say, I want X, X, and X, and they will provide you that order so you can pick it up, you know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Trader Joe, you can ask them to order you specific flowers. And how long have I been shopping at Trader Joe's? I didn't know this! So I'm kind of getting, not that I would even necessarily know to say a name of like, I want this flower because that is what I...
Well, you can actually go in and see what they have and write them down.
Okay.
And you can actually just go and, you know, give them the list and say, hey, I need 4 bunches of this, and...
Amazing.
Yeah.
So like even greenery?
Even
so
greenery.
they wanted like eucalyptus and certain like laurel?
Yeah. And most of the time they have a bunch, but like for holidays, usually those things go by, you know, go out pretty quick. So yeah, it's a good little tip.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna turn this camera around. We're gonna move it all over the place as I kind of try to show you what she's doing and giving us the tips as we go. So here we go. I'm gonna learn, you're gonna learn with me, and we're gonna have some killer arrangements come spring. Okay, we're armed with coffee, and we're gonna do this. So there is a little bit of pre-planning that needs to go into this when you're going into the store. Just not a lot, but just a little bit. So tell me what I need to think about before I go.
Okay, so tips that will help you think about your arrangement before you go to the store is think about actually what you're gonna put it in. So you're gonna pick the vessel or vase that you're thinking about and where you're actually gonna be placing it. So it could be, you know, something this size or something small. So you're also gonna think how many flowers you're gonna need when you purchase at Trader Joe's.
Okay, so kind of having an idea of like, okay, this is gonna be kitchen. I know, so maybe you have, and this is something I wanna work on, like knowing like, this is my favorite kitchen vase. And so I kind of always know like, this is what I'm using. I just need to get something pretty for it. So maybe you guys have that, I don't. But so I clearly need to give it a little bit of thought as to, it's going on my fireplace. I'm gonna put it in this before I go.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so just a little bit of pre-planning.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then things.
So now we know what we're buying. We're gonna shop in a minute, but first we need some tools. So let's talk about tools.
Okay, perfect. So to get started, what you're gonna wanna get is, this is actually amazing. It's White Vase Floral Tape, and it's different than regular tape because it's very sticky. So it's the reason that you use this, what I'll show you is we're gonna make a grid on the top, and it's gonna help you keep the florals from falling to the side.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everything just kind of walks over.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I hold it so pretty in my hand, and then I put it in the vase, and it just falls apart.
Yeah, and it changes, and it totally changes your idea and shape of the arrangement. I brought the green tape, but what you're gonna wanna get is a clear so you wouldn't actually see it. But I wanted you to see an example of what it looks like.
Okay, so we're gonna get clear Oasis tape, but today we're using green, which if you wanna be crazy and show the grip,
so either way.
you are welcome to, but
it's just you would see it on the edges.
On the edges, okay. So if you're using a dark vase, it may not matter, but for a lighter vase, clear tape. But for our purposes today, we're doing this so you can really see in the video.
Exactly. Okay. And then you can get these on Amazon. They're floral shears, and there's many different varieties. So these are great for trimming your florals. And then you're gonna you can just get any home scissors.
Okay.
They'll work perfect.
These are just really pretty, so I'll, Carrie and I will get links for these and we'll link them to this video so that you guys can access them. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we've got our vase. We've shopped for our flowers. She has actually shopped for our flowers today. But so we're gonna jump right into preparing the vase. So we've started taping, so I'll let you continue and teach me how to tape this. So is there like rules? Like is there like inches spacing?
No, I mean, once you can actually, I would just say you could leave 1 inch to 1.5 inches separate from making these little strips. And what you're going to want to do is you're just going to attach it to one side, and then you're going to, you know, measure it to the other, and then you're going to make a cut.
Okay.
So actually, I'll show you from this side.
Let me see. I'm going to move you guys.
Okay.
So we can get over top and see how she's doing this.
So I just made one strip over the top.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, and then you kind of conceal it together.
Okay.
Very easy, simple. It doesn't have to be perfect. And like I said, you can make it, the spacing complete can be totally what you want to do.
Okay. You just need some support in there so they don't fall down.
Yep.
Got it.
And
this is where I've always failed. Oh my gosh, those are the cutest little scissors.
And this actually comes with this.
Oh.
So you get
okay.
Like,
I'll definitely link this for you guys. These are really cute tools.
Okay, so we're gonna do probably, I'll just do one more. And then that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
And then you're set.
Love it.
And just like that.
Okay. Perfect. So we have our grid ready to go. Okay. So our grid's down. Now, okay, so we're gonna talk flowers. Here, you can't even see them all. So I'm just gonna like hide behind here, behind flowers. There are a ton. There's like a lot. This is probably the most floral I've ever had in my house in one time. It's beautiful. I did take pictures of all of it. So I'll show you this later. But, so we're shopping for flowers. Almost all of this is Trader Joe's. She's gonna tell us a few things that aren't, but we can replace them with something else.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it over to Miss Carrie. Do your thing, girl.
Okay, so it's amazing that you have the option to go just right down to Trader Joe's and find amazing florals. And so if you have an idea of what colors you want, that's always a good start. But honestly, you could just go down and see what you love. And there's just so much variety, and they're so beautiful. I found these beautiful spray roses, the light pink.
I love that this is from Trader Joe's. What did you do before Trader Joe's?
Yeah.
And if you don't have Trader Joe's, I'm really sorry, but hopefully your grocery store has something equally good, or you have a local farmer's floral market?
Yeah, floral market.
Floral market.
Or farmer's market.
Farmer's market. Yeah, that too. Okay, both.
Yeah. So they have an amazing selection, and I love rosemary, so I always put rosemary in pretty much everything, which it smells like heaven.
I can't believe I was searching for this for Christmas because I had something else I wanted to show you guys. So I'm like, this is rosemary. So mine does not carry this. I will be ordering rosemary all the time from Trader Joe's now. So just FYI, it's coming.
And there are a few things that I got from the flower market, like the peonies.
These are my favorite.
Yes, and they're just so springy, so I thought I'd just grab those.
Those were my wedding bouquet, like that exact color, I think. Yeah.
And they actually came really close and actually opened up perfectly for today for us. And then also these are ranunculus, and those are also from ours.
These are ranunculus?
Yes.
Oh,
I know.
I don't think I've ever seen them.
Well, and I actually haven't either, which was actually kind of funny.
Is this new?
I don't know. I was just like, I actually asked a floral friend, I'm like, wait, what is this? Because I thought I knew the name. And I'm like,
from Carlsbad?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you haven't been following us for long, I'm in Southern California. Carrie's also in Southern California.
Yes.
And right up the street from me, actually right by where my husband works, are the Carlsbad flower fields, and they grow just ranunculus, right?
Beautiful.
It's just ranunculus.
Yes,
okay. And I went 2 years ago with Luke, and I will go. I will take you guys with me because Hubs didn't get to go. It's amazing.
Beautiful.
So they're starting to bloom now.
Yeah.
And so ranunculus flowers, if you get them, for the most part, they come from here, right?
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's amazing. You drive up the 5 in certain areas, and you just it's just rows of colors of flowers. It's amazing. Yeah. So, side note, we will go there.
So yeah, so here is a combination of everything, but this just literally you grabbed from your Trader Joe's.
So pretty.
So what you do when you get home is you would just unwrap your packages, and honestly what your flowers need is a good soak. So hydration, hydration, hydration. And the key is to make these floral arrangements last as long as you can.
Because you're going to spend the time to buy it, think about it, and put it together.
Because a lot of times, don't we all put our flowers in and we love them, and all of a sudden they're not doing so great.
And they're wilting.
Yeah. And I have some excellent tips for you guys to
Yay.
keep those
I'll
alive.
take all of them.
Perfect.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is give them a quick
fresh cut.
cut. And then you're going to pop them into fresh water, and you can soak them for 1 or 2 hours.
Okay.
So it just depends what you want to do.
Is there a certain temperature water that I need?
Just normal temp.
Okay.
Most of them are normal temp. These are a little bit different. You probably want it for the hydrangea. You want to have a cooler temp.
What about ice in the water? What are any thoughts? Because I've done that.
Ice in the water actually is not good for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the temperature actually of the surrounding area of the flower is the most important.
Okay.
So,
which is probably why everything dies here, because there's a vent right there. Yeah. Yeah, you guys can't see it, but in my ceiling there's a beautiful vent. I crop it for my photos, just so you know. It's like in the worst spot if you're taking a photo, and it blows right in my flowers. So I'm gonna need to try to re-angle that. Okay, good tip.
But
something to think about in your house.
It's true. But if you do the cut right when you get your flowers and you soak them, that is gonna save you, I mean, your flowers will just last a ton.
How much am I cutting off?
You're gonna cut probably a half an inch.
Okay.
To an inch. It just depends because you don't want to cut too much if say you have like a high vase because you're going to want to leave a stem.
Okay.
The length of the stem.
Got it.
And then I wanted to show you, this is going to save you.
Okay.
This product is amazing.
Let's move that in closer so they can see the label. Yeah.
So this product is amazing. It's from FloraLife and it's FloraLife Crystal Clear. So I don't know if you've ever used flower food before and it makes your water kind of murky.
Is it the stuff that comes in the packets?
Yep.
Okay.
So if you have a clear vase, have you noticed it makes it murky? Okay. So this is amazing because you put it in and it's clear.
Is it better than that stuff?
It is.
Oh, good.
Well, I mean, I'm not supposed to say it's better.
It's better, but it's looks wise, which we know is important. This is superior in terms of making it look clear.
It is, and it's clear.
Perfect.
And there's another product called Quick Dip, and so Quick Dip is made by FloraLife. And what you can do is once you then take your flowers out from being soaked, you could do a quick dip and then you can put it back into some floral food. So these are key for hydration.
Okay.
So this also has some nutritional supplements that's added into it. And it kind of helps with, if you notice like your water gets funky after a while, it helps keep the pH balanced in your vase.
Because mine are always moldy.
Yeah.
Gross.
So this actually helps with that corrosion because they're, live plants.
Okay.
And that's just going to help the deterioration of them. And yeah, so this is actually key.
Love it. Can I use this with eucalyptus and stuff too?
You can.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because that's what I mean, that stuff when I put it in water does a great job. I love to mix it in with the faux stuff I have.
Absolutely.
And style with both, but it'll last me I've had that stuff down there for a couple weeks.
Well, and the nice thing about eucalyptus and those dry things, they actually dry so nicely. So even if they didn't last so great, the water's out, they're doing good.
Still doing good. The wreath is doing good.
So those kind of things are good, yeah.
Okay, so where can we buy this?
You can buy this on Amazon.
Okay, done. We're gonna have an Amazon shopping list for you guys.
Yeah, and I think it's around $20 for this size. Yeah.
And that's how long will that last you?
This will last you quite a bit of time.
Okay.
So I would say, oh my gosh, I make it like 6 months.
Wow.
I mean, or even longer. It depends on how many arrangements that you're going to do. But this is just good to keep on your sink or just with your supplies.
Okay. So we went shopping. So she has 2 buckets here. Let me see if I can show you both buckets. So we're going to do 2 different arrangements. We're going to do the one in the ginormous vase. And then, so tell me what's going in that, the white?
So we're going to do the hydrangeas in this beautiful vase from Pottery Barn.
Okay.
And then we're going to do the more colorful in Jacqueline's beautiful vase that we love so much.
Coming to the shop soon. It's like a kind of like a milky glass with a knobby finish. I just saw it and I loved it. So those are coming soon. So we're going to do a pink arrangement in there. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to put this back down and we're going to get started. Okay, water's in the vase. We have our water and our food.
We do.
But with the food.
With the food, you know what? You can actually, I actually don't measure, and I actually just put a splash in. But if you're concerned with that, you actually can follow the directions on the back if you want to go ahead and do it that way.
So if you're not a confident splasher, directions.
With a ratio
I'm a
of water.
splasher. It's like how I cook. Where I'm like, good dash.
Just throw a little bit in and you're good to go.
Perfect. So we've got our grid.
Yep.
Water. Food is in there. Do you need to mix it or anything, or it's all good?
No. It just makes once you start putting the flowers in, you're good.
It's gonna okay. So we're gonna just start building the arrangement, and
let's do it.
Okay, so when we were chatting about what we were gonna create, she shared an inspiration picture with me. She's like, "Do you like this?" And I'm like, yes. I want you to make this, and I want you to make it in my home." So this is that picture right here that we're using as our inspiration, and so a suggestion that you have for people who maybe don't know what they're looking for.
Exactly, because I know it can be kind of overwhelming, like where to start. And honestly, I still do it. You find a picture that you absolutely love and you just have that as your reference. I mean, it's never going to come out exactly the same, but it's always good to have kind of an idea of what you want to do.
Yep.
So that's what we did. And then, we'll just create kind of as we go.
Build from there. Okay, I love that. So we should maybe create a Pinterest board on that too. We've got cookies going. We might as well have a floral board going because it is. I mean, you see other people's creativity and it inspires you to basically take that and then make it your own.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So let's do it.
Okay, perfect.
Let's do the thing. Tell us what the flowers are because I have no idea what these names are.
So,
minus the hydrangeas.
Jacqueline and I both love hydrangeas, and I'm sure you all love them too.
My favorite.
Yeah, and these are going to be, I know we were talking about long-lasting arrangements. These are going to be a little bit more difficult. Hydration for these are key. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you soak them in this solution, the FloraLife, like we were talking about. So that's key. So make sure you soak these guys.
I feel like I should be taking notes. Keep going.
Yeah. And so yeah, we'll start. So yeah, we have hydrangeas, we have stock, which smell amazing. I was just showing, or yeah, Jacqueline loves it.
This smells like I want to cook with it, which is ridiculous.
Would you say it's like ginger? Ginger? I don't know how to, spicy?
It's spicy. We can definitely say spicy.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm getting like, are you like basil? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm picking up basil. Amazing. I don't know. It smells delicious.
Okay, so that's a really nice flower to make like your house smell really good. And then we have mums, green mums, which I'll show you. And then we have a flowering branch. So we're just working with a few things. And I think I have some white roses that we can add too.
Okay.
So we'll just get started. And what I like to kind of leave the leaves on the top of the hydrangea to kind of flow over the side. And so what we'll do is we'll just start, and I kind of just start leveling at an angle. And then we'll just start filling up. And this is why the grid's easy. If you can see, it just kind of lays there for you.
So it doesn't fall over.
And you can kind of start, and there isn't necessarily a perfect method. You're just gonna kind of just see what you like to do.
Okay, so I have a question on height.
Yeah.
Keep going and you know, we'll talk and chat. So height-wise, is there a right or wrong way?
You know, you can actually, well, not necessarily, but you know what's a good tip is actually start with a high point. So you can actually start with the top, because what we're gonna do in this arrangement, we're gonna actually kind of make it kind of a rounded arrangement. Okay. And you could start with the highest point in the center and kind of work yourself around. Okay. So that's gonna start. But if you obviously, you need to trim as you go, you can also do that. But that's actually a good point, is to start in the center.
Start in the center,
So that's a good question.
So you have a high point. Okay,
yeah.
So
kind of
high point in the center. Got it.
So we can actually do, and you wanna do a fresh cut each time. I don't know if I did that.
I'm gonna move this camera, yeah, so you can get a little closer to Miss Carrie doing her thing over here.
Okay. And hydrangeas are pretty easy to work with because they're so full and rounded already.
Yeah. I know, I'm notorious for just grabbing them and plopping them in a vase, but I feel like I could do better. So that's what I'm excited about.
And a lot of it is just adding just some different product with your arrangement and with your hydrangeas.
Okay, so we're just sticking these in the grid.
You're gonna stick them in the grid, and you're gonna kind of go from there. Okay. And you want to get the fresh cut each time. And you know what? You want to cut at an angle. Okay. Like so. And the reason is, which will make sense to everybody, is if you cut them flat, they're going to lay flush to the bottom of your vase.
Oh, which is what I do.
And this will give the water, it will help the water
get up the stem. Yep. Oh, awesome. Okay. Super helpful.
And if you don't worry. I mean, if you forget, it's okay. They'll be fine because you've been soaking them for quite a bit of time.
So they've gotten a chance to hydrate?
They have.
Okay. You can see she has these all in buckets over here, hydrating away.
And the flower food is key for the long-lasting arrangements. That's why if you see the water, the hydrangeas actually will not last very long in just fresh water.
Okay.
That's key.
That's probably half my problem.
Yeah, and a lot of people, we don't know that. We didn't, you know, if you haven't done it, you wouldn't know to put the solution, and I don't think a lot of people use it.
That's a great tip. Okay, so now you're moving on to the stock.
So I just start filling in as I go. And this stock actually is going to be a really good high point because it's kind of a skinny stem. So we're going to actually kind of put that in the center. And
okay, so this is why you leave some of the greenery up here so that it fills in that space between the top of the flower and the base. Got it.
And
okay.
And the leaves are so pretty.
They are.
Okay, so
but we do want to, so just so you guys can see, like this whole stem is cleared on the bottom. So these were
absolutely,
these were all greens.
Yeah, and the key is actually just to prep your flowers before, so it'd be just, it's too difficult to actually do it while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So have them all prepped and then you're doing the arranging.
So you're just ready to go once you're ready to put them in your vase.
Got it.
You can probably put this one here.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Okay.
I love it already and it's not even done.
Yay. And working with flowers is so therapeutic.
And it's kind of like baking for me, right?
Yeah.
And it smells, I wish you guys could smell this. I wish there was the Instagram smell feature. Somebody needs to invent the Instagram smell feature because it smells so good in my kitchen. Oh my goodness, and of course my landscapers are here right now.
And you can put the lower ones in the front, like so.
So is this kind of like a tiered?
It's gonna be rounded. So you're gonna kind of fill it in as you go. It's just you're trying to get the overall shape as you start. And then you fill in the gaps as you kind of get all the flowers in.
Okay. Okay, so we have all of the hydrangeas in our arrangement. So I'm sure you just saw that quickie little video. But, so if you can tell from that video, maybe you can't, Carrie went back and ended up snipping the ends of some of them and just adjusted your height. So I'll let you talk about, like, once you get everything in, kind of adjusting it.
Yeah, and even still, like, sometimes, you know, when you put them in the first time, they're not going to look perfect to where you want them to be. So you can actually, don't be afraid to take them out and reposition them and recut them to the size or length that you want them.
Okay.
So we have the hydrangeas in first. That's what I kind of worked in. We did use the stalk as a kind of focal point.
Okay, so getting that center point in first.
Yeah, and I think that's really helpful.
Okay.
And then I think it's really pretty to add some height. And I like to add these in at the end.
You can hear that grid doing its job in there.
Yep, and it really is sturdy. So I think you'll really appreciate having that in position there.
Yeah.
And
I love. So you're just kind of like you would, I feel like you're decorating, but with flowers instead of, you know.
And you're going to do it your own way. You know, your eye is going to want to do it a little bit different and just do it the way you want to do it.
So you're just kind of sporadically adding these to create some height. And so the overall shape of this when we're done, we want to be...
It's rounded with just some taller...
Rounded.
Yeah, it's going to be a little rounded.
Okay.
It's just going to have a little height variation.
So let's see if you guys can get the rounded effect we've got going here from this angle. Oh my gosh. Looks so pretty right there. I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm done. This looks gorgeous.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to shorten this one a little bit.
Okay, see? Even the pros will shorten it. Like I tell you guys all the time when I'm doing projects. Sometimes,
nothing's perfect.
Nothing is ever perfect until it's
perfect.
done, then it's perfect. No, I'm kidding.
You know what? The flowers do so much of the work because they're so pretty.
They are.
And all
Oh
the
my
flowers
gosh.
are different shapes.
This is why I struggle sometimes with faux floral. I really, really, really like fresh floral. I love faux greenery, but sometimes I really struggle with artificial flowers.
Yeah, they're hard. They're a little harder to work with. They're just stiffer.
It is, and so I love to have faux greenery. Like I have it all over my house, but faux flowers I actually don't think I have any in my house.
And these, we can see if we love them. I don't know. And sometimes you might get something and you're like, not so loving this. So we'll see what these. But I think a little pop.
Oh, let's get a close up on those. Let me see.
These are the mums.
Oh, those are fun.
Yeah, and it gives just like a brighter pop in here.
Okay.
So let's see if we like them.
Hopefully this is an easier angle for you guys to see now that we're over top.
I think
that the vase is really full. I wanted you to be able to see where she's kind of placing these and, you know, her thoughts.
Yeah, and I'm not sure yet if we love them.
Oh, that's fun.
I think these will be good.
Yeah.
Let's
it's
try
like
more.
fuzzy.
And then I wanted to add in some roses as well. And what you know, or what you need to know about the roses, they come with an outer. You can take out the outer petals, and they're called guard petals. And you just snip those off.
Guard petals?
Guard.
Guard.
Yeah,
Okay.
Guard. You might just grab those off. And actually, I'm not loving that one, so let's do.
Okay, we're gonna do another one.
And you can actually prep these ahead of time as well. I didn't, so we'll just do this really quickly.
Okay, so we're just pulling off those outer petals.
And these are spray roses, so they actually come in bunches on the top.
Spray roses, so easy decorating.
Yeah, and it's nice because they have a cluster, and you can just put one stem in there.
I guess I should call it easy designing.
Yeah. We can actually see how that looks in there. And I love just having a little combination of the roses with the hydrangea.
Oh, and I even like how, because you're on that bunch, you have that natural, like, it's already doing the height thing for you. Like, so with the mums and that, like, I feel like it's a little less work because they're like, they're already perfectly placed because it's just how they naturally grow.
Absolutely.
And I love that. That's great.
Yeah, and they do. Absolutely what you're saying. Is
like they kind of like did the work for you.
They did the work.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we'll put this one in here. And it's up to you when you want to stop. Sometimes you don't want to go overboard and put too much in, but I think we still have a little bit of room to add some more.
Add some more.
Yeah, we want to get the roses on this side.
Oh my gosh, this looks so good.
And it smells so good.
I know, you guys, the way this house smells right now. I'm gonna have Carrie come once a week.
I'd love to.
Come be my floral girl. Make the house smell good. It smells so good in here.
Oh my gosh, and working Jacqueline's home is so much fun. So this has been a fun morning for me.
This has been so fun. And you guys, I wish we could share all the girl chit chat we've had going on the side. Just a lot of sidebars. Oh my gosh. It's so fun. I'm like in awe watching her do this.
Aww.
Things you don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? It's just, you know how we don't know how to do it? It feels like it might be daunting or scary to do, or you can do it, and it really isn't if you just take your time and I think just by going to your local store and just picking what you love, that's the best way to do it. And I think those inspiration pictures are really going to help you.
Oh my gosh, totally. It's like with baking, like, and when I'm decorating, like I'm always trying to find things that'll spark my own creativity. So where like if you saw this and you're like, I really want color, you could take the same arrangement and make it full of color and like really bright and vibrant.
Absolutely. And you know, I have other florists that I absolutely love, and I actually go to them for inspiration. Yep. And it's really fun. So I have my go-tos when I'm arranging too.
Love this. Oh my gosh, so fun.
And actually my favorite part is the branches at the end, but I gotta wait. That's the last ones we'll use. This actually look pretty good. And you know, honestly, this little tip, you can actually, these are pretty fragile at the stem, I gotta say, so you gotta be a little careful, but you can actually work your flower open a little bit if it's a little close. So that's another little tip, and you're not gonna hurt it. Okay, so let's see. Kind of need something right there.
And so you're just filling in kind of the holes.
Yep, and you know what? Even if you have a bunch of roses right there, looks perfect.
It does.
It doesn't have. Yep, it doesn't have to be perfect.
So pretty.
Thank you.
Talented girl, very talented.
Aww. Okay, so let's do. Maybe we can do some more mums, and then I think we're getting close to having this finished.
Perfect. Okay, so mums, roses, the stock, and the hydrangeas. So we've got four flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. Yeah. Okay, so we're going on to number 5, which are.
And this is one of my favorite parts. These are the flowering branches, and you can get them also at your Trader Joe's or any market. And I love putting these in at the end, just to give it a little bit of height. And you're gonna be pretty. You're not gonna have a lot of space here at the end, but you're gonna find some space for these little.
Is that kind of like an indicator of like, you're pretty much done when you can no longer stuff anything in there?
Exactly. You kind of need to stop. And I have to tell myself that all the time because I just love to keep going. But yeah, you kind of need to
make yourself stop.
Make yourself stop at that point.
Okay. So when you have no more room, you know you're done.
Exactly. And don't feel like you have to use all your flowers like I did, but you don't have to make it as full as this either.
I still can't believe she got this entire bucket into there. Amazing. And not a whole lot of scrap. I feel like I have that much scrap from like just like one bunch of flour.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, at home, because I already prepped.
You did prep, okay.
I mean, it's kind of a disaster when you do it at home for the prep. But the key is just put a towel down like I did here, and then you do it all, and you take it and just kind of makes it a little bit
That's
cleaner.
So smart. Yeah, I don't do that. I need to do that. I end up making a mess, and then I haul the garbage can over and like push it all into the trash.
Well, for bigger arrangements, if there's a ton, I usually have it all over the floor in my workstation, but a nice sweep up at the end.
Get you guys a side view of this.
Okay,
oh my gosh, this looks so pretty.
And I love how there's just all these different like shapes and movement with these. So I think it just adds a special little touch to your arrangement.
It looks so good.
And you can kind of pick where you want it to be your focal point. I think what we're gonna do is, where do we want it? I think we'll just make this for the roses, maybe the front.
Okay. Okay, so that's
actually a good thing to think about.
Yeah.
Having like your focal flowers. So we kind of have a rounded bouquet, but there's going to be maybe a special touch where you want to put something to maybe indicate where you have the front.
Okay.
And I would say maybe this little bunch.
Yep, I would totally. Oh my gosh, that looks stunning.
And I think we are done.
Oh my God, you guys, look at that. So, in recap, we knew the vessel. She bought the flowers. She prepped the flowers by taking off all the leaves and trimming and getting soaked in the water. Right? Am I missing anything yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we did our grid.
We did.
Then we filled our vase with water, which I guess you could fill it with water and then do your grid.
Perfect.
Either or.
Yep.
And then we just started playing. And so we found our high point.
We did.
And then we added all of our hydrangeas. And then we went back and added in our taller flowers, which is the stock. Mm-hmm. And then we added in our clusters of flowers, which were the roses and the mums.
Perfect.
And then the branches at the end.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's it. I'll do that.
Okay. This is amazing. Amazing. So we were just talking a little bit about, now we've done this amazing arrangement, how do we keep it alive?
And that's a very, very good point. And that's why we were doing this, is how do we keep arrangements to last even up to 2 weeks?
Yeah.
The key is fresh water. So like we talked about, the FloraLife is really going to help with that.
So that's that white solution that is this stuff. So we definitely want to have this.
We do.
Okay.
And every 2 days, I would say, and every 2 days you're going to want to change the water. And I would actually get a separate container, mix the solution in a separate container. You're going to pour this out, and they're going to stay in there pretty sturdy, so they're not going to fall out.
Oh,
so
because they're like, I mean,
yeah,
they're solid.
they're in there.
I got a base.
They're
Okay.
shoved in there.
Okay.
And then pour that out, and then you're going to add in the new fresh water. So I would say every 2 days.
Okay.
Just
if we're
add in.
lazy, can we do every 3?
You could. I mean, this typical arrangement, just with the hydrangeas, they're a little bit more finicky.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
I would say, and you know what? Just judge by looking at it. If they're looking a little sad, maybe
then you know it's time. Okay.
maybe add
That's a
some
good rule of
fresh-
thumb.
yep.
If they look sad, change their water.
Yeah.
Okay. They need water and food.
So a lot of it's just hydration and new fresh water.
So we're gonna dump that. We're gonna dump out all the old. So just kind of hold it, tip it over in the sink,
Absolutely.
and then use maybe like something with a pour spout.
Yeah, like even like a measuring cup.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay,
Yeah.
so like a big measuring cup.
And you can even like go in the center and just
And
kind of
dump it
find a
in.
little hole.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then like an arrangement which we're gonna do next, you can actually hand take them out. You
Okay.
can give them a little snip.
Okay.
This you're not gonna be able to do because it's pretty much stuck in there.
It's stuck in there.
You can give them a little fresh cut and then add the water. So if you have the ability to do a fresh cut, that also helps.
Okay.
In the longevity of arrangements as well.
Fresh cut and water ideal, but
Yes.
if you have this big honker, just change the water.
Just
Okay.
change the water.
Okay, so you guys saw the big fancy arrangement. We're gonna take it back a notch.
We are.
We're gonna do this smaller vase. I wish I had exact measurements for you, but I don't. It's about 7 inches tall, and about 3.5 inches wide. I actually do have measurements. Look at that. I remembered. But I'm gonna make this one, and she's gonna kind of coach me through it. So Carrie's gonna teach me on the fly.
Absolutely. And we actually don't have a plan for this one, and I think this is a good key, is sometimes it's good just to kind of have your favorites and then play with them as you go.
Okay.
But we have the tips. We know that we have to cut them, a fresh cut.
Yes.
Okay.
So we've done. They're already she prepped them. I'm on easy street today.
I have them all ready to
So
go.
they're ready to go. So we are just gonna make the arrangement. So where do I even start?
Okay. So like our last arrangement, we're not going to do a grid. I think for the smaller ones, I think it's kind of, I mean, you can, but I think today we'll just keep it
We're
open.
totally freestyling. Okay.
We are.
Do we need water now or water later?
Yes.
Water
We
first.
actually
Okay.
want to do water.
Okay,
first.
so let's do water.
Okay.
Hold that thought. Okay, so everything's mapped out. Now tell me why is this helpful? Like even to just like, maybe if I'm in the store, kind of like looking at what I have. So we're working in odd numbers. So again, we're gonna have 5 flowers in here.
Right.
You could probably do 3 in this one because it's a smaller vase if you wanted
Okay.
to.
And you might not use all of them, but
Okay.
it's just nice to have everything laid out to kind of see what you're going to pick and choose.
Okay, and so when I'm at the store and I'm like deciding like, what do I get?
You know, it's also good because you want to have, I mean, sometimes you can just do the florals, but I think it's nice to have a little bit of greenery for texture.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice to pick, you know, maybe 2, I would say just pick 2 of your favorite greenery choices with your florals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a 5, you want 2 green
Perfect.
and then 3 floral, or if you're doing 3, maybe like 1 green and maybe a flower that has a lot of green on it.
Yeah.
So that you're getting like a double bang for your buck, like floral with
Absolutely.
green. Okay,
Yeah.
does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love
Okay.
it.
So in 3s or 5s, you guys, let's just stick to the rules we know. 3s and 5s. Okay, so we're laid out, we're cleaned, we've got water. Now, how in the world do I make this look pretty?
Okay, so I think a good tip to think about is when it can kind of feel like, where do you start? And I think that's what Jacqueline and I were talking about. It's like, okay, how do we explain this to make it simple to have a starting point?
I'm like, give me what's in your brain.
And it's hard sometimes
Help
to kind of, to kind of explain exactly how to start. But I think a good tip is making a framework. So what you're gonna do is, I think the greenery really helps with that. It creates a frame. So you can actually start filling in. You can start from a high point and you can kind of work yourself down. So you can kind of fill in, and actually that book is gonna be really good because it gives some examples of that.
So we're gonna talk about this. This is a great book that Carrie recommends.
I do.
For those of us that aren't florists, which is probably most of us that are here with us today. So this is on Amazon. We'll link all of this for you. We'll talk about this in a bit. But there's some tips in this book that she's going to kind of visually show us. Okay,
Perfect.
Continue.
Okay. So yeah, so once you create the framework, that's when you can actually start playing with your flowers. And the bigger bloom of your selection is you're gonna pick your favorite bigger bloom as your focal point, and that's going to be the one front and center, kind of the lower flower.
Okay.
And you kind of work yourself in. Yeah.
So when you're looking at, you want to have, because I guess I didn't think about this, like knowing like this is the front of my arrangement, like So they
Right.
should always kind of have a front.
Yes, and the front will be your focal flower.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like we did with the big one, we had the roses kind of like.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So we need to have a front and a back.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
That helps.
and actually, while you're working, you can actually twist it around as you go,
Okay.
and you can fill. But yeah, typically you want to have your focal flower in the front, and that will be kind of your guideline.
Okay.
Where the front of the arrangement will be.
Okay. Okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
So structure me up. How are we
Structure.
structuring?
So because we have rosemary, I think let's pick. I mean, I'm gonna try this one for shape.
Yeah.
Okay, and I love how the rosemary has a lot of movement. So
I love that. I've never seen rosemary this big. Clearly, I don't go to enough floral markets. We're gonna have a lot of rosemary. I'm a eucalyptus girl, but I think I can maybe add some rosemary in my life. Okay. So I'm just gonna cut.
You might even let's try a little shorter
Okay. So okay, because
it's pretty tall.
so should I do that? Like when I'm looking at this, should I be like okay and kind of get an
Yeah.
idea? Because if this is 7, I definitely need to cut this.
Right.
It's gonna be too big. Okay. So like maybe around here.
Maybe around there, perfect.
Cut.
And with rosemary, actually, I'll give you another tip.
Yes.
Okay, just so when you have the leaves in the water, it gets your water pretty funky
Murky.
after a while.
Yeah.
So all you do with rosemary, you just pull the leaves right off.
Which smells amazing.
And you can just do like that, and then you can actually put them in the.
And you can cook with it later.
Yes, true.
Okay. So I don't have a whole hoard of rosemary sitting in there.
Okay. So
Am I too tall or am I okay?
No, I think that'll be perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna move this over so you guys can see it. Okay.
And we did select Paris, which came from the flower market, and it's beautiful.
Okay, look at this drapey. This is amazing, you guys. I've never seen, I have very limited floral knowledge, we know that. But, so if I needed to replace this, what could I?
Well, we were talking about eucalyptus.
Seeded eucalyptus maybe?
Yep, because it has a lot of
That drapey
it can
effect?
Drape.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're actually lying. We have 6 for this arrangement, but we're
Yeah.
only gonna use like 1 of these. So it's just a little accoutrement, like add. So you don't have to use this one, but how could you, look at this, this is gorgeous. Okay,
Yes.
so I'm cutting this.
Yep, I would cut it just a little
bit.
bit.
Okay.
And this just bends over the vase, and it's beautiful.
Maybe
And
a
if
little more?
Let's see. We can actually kind of tuck it in there.
Okay.
And it's perfect. There we go.
I love that.
What do you
Oh my
think?
gosh.
You like it?
Can you guys see this? Look at that. I could just do a vase. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I love this. And it's like got this like
Perfect.
white drapey. This is good. But if you can't find this, seeded eucalyptus would also be beautiful.
Yep.
Love.
perfect.
Okay.
And so let's do, and then like Jacqueline was explaining, it was a perfect way to describe it. This is a flower. It's a ranuncula, but it's a good greenery.
Okay.
So we can actually use this too. So I would actually add a few in the middle.
Okay.
And we need probably, I think, well, let's see. We want to maybe cut it a little bit.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, and I can grow it in the center.
Is it too tall? Is it too tall?
Maybe cut it a little bit
Okay.
more.
No exact science, you guys. It's like,
No.
like decorating. And at the end of the day, it's your floral arrangement. Like I say, it's your house. It's your floral arrangement.
And that's exactly right.
Yeah. Your creation. These
I
are
would-
just good guidelines.
Absolutely. And we don't have the grid, so they're going to move around a little bit. So just know we can lean it there, and then we can kind of
Pull it as we.
Yep.
Okay. Am I doing more of these?
let's do maybe some shorter ones, and
Okay.
like creating movement in your arrangement. You can have a tall piece, kind of like a center middle piece, and then you're going to have this as a lower one.
Okay, so
you're
we're creating tiers.
tiers, exactly.
Okay, so we're gonna tier down. So we're gonna start high and we're gonna work low.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So maybe we can create. Maybe we can do. Let's go a little bit below this, and we'll even go a little bit shorter.
Okay.
Maybe a little more.
Around
Perfect.
there.
Gosh, I love
Okay.
these.
I'm gonna lean this back.
Perfect.
Okay.
Love it. Okay.
And then I'm gonna make a super shorty,
Perfect.
and maybe this guy because it's got some hangy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you rip this off.
No,
I don't know
I
what
mean-
you call the hangy. Do you like the technical terms I have? My hangy flowers.
The leaves.
The leaves. Wow. Wow. That was a tough one. Okay. Cool.
So maybe make a lower one, maybe a little bit lower than this.
And that one. Okay.
And I think that would be perfect.
Okay.
And there's no right and wrong in this. It literally is going to be your creation.
And her tip before I loved. Okay, I may have to take my leaves off. They may end up in here. If you go too short, you can just move it somewhere else in the arrangement. I love
Absolutely.
that because all the time I cut it too short and I'm like, oh, ruin that one.
Yeah, and you can just stick
Okay.
that somewhere else.
Should I pull these off then? If they're in here?
Maybe.
Okay.
Here, I'll help you with that. And then, yeah, we can just yank these guys off.
Okay.
And then pop it in.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
You're a pro. Okay.
Okay, just so you guys can see the front. I'm working from the front. I would put you behind me, but I have nowhere to stick you, so. Okay.
And then maybe I would add a
Another
little.
rosemary?
Yep, and we
Okay.
can probably just even do half of the length of the first one.
Half the length.
Yep.
Okay, so I really want to trim this down kind of like
Yep.
Okay, so we're getting aggressive. I'm cutting.
Yep.
A
We're
lot.
going quite a bit shorter than the first cut.
And then I'm going to pull off a good bunch of this.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
In there.
Yep. And I would even do, let's just put both of them. So we have a total of 4 rosemary stems.
Okay. Just say about the same height, or what should I?
I think we should even go a little bit shorter.
Okay. Big trim.
Yep. And this actually fills out the arrangement quite a bit. And then it kind of gives, like I said, a framework for the other florals to go in.
Okay, so what we're doing, I'm gonna put it in my words so that I remember this.
Yeah.
Every time I do one of these, I like to put it in my own words so that I'm like, even when I watch how-to videos, I'm like, okay, you did this because of blah, 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 blah. So it sticks in my brain. So we're using just our greenery. So even though this is a flower, it's still our green, we're using it as our green.
Right.
And creating that tiered situation. So the high, the middle, and the low, and then we can build our flowers in between.
Perfect.
Yay!
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, you got it.
Tiers, high, middle, low. I can
High,
work
middle,
with this.
low.
I can work with this.
Okay, great. And then maybe let's do one more of the rosemary stems. And let's see, where were we?
So maybe go in between all of these guys, or do one really other tall to match. I think I kind of like a tall.
Okay.
I'm gonna go tall.
Perfect.
Look at this. See, 2 seconds later, and you're like, I got this.
Love it. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, and then maybe we can add in, let's finish off the greenery.
Okay. We're gonna remove the leaves that I like so much.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. I'll do one more of those. And maybe we can do a low one.
A low one. So a big cut.
Perfect.
On the diagonal. Maybe a little more.
Okay.
And you can yell at me and give me criticism.
No, you're good. And then the only thing is I'm thinking we'll move this back because we want to have the little, probably that in the back so then the florals can kind of stand out in the front.
Okay, so the greenery to the back so that the floral is then in the front because it's your focal point.
Right.
Okay, greenery to the back.
Okay. And then I think what we can do is, that looks really good. You can pick your focal flower. So pick your favorite.
So we're just gonna do one peony?
I don't know, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see, but this will probably be the bigger bloom and that's gonna be the lower bloom that will pop in. So you're gonna put it kind of right at the base of the vase.
So let's work this way. So see if you show them where, and I'm gonna try to cut it.
So if you wanna put the focal flower right in front, and it's gonna be on the lip of the vase, right here, and that's a good starting point, and that's gonna be kind of where you...
Okay. So I'm cutting on the diagonal.
And you probably a little more, yeah.
Okay. These scare me to cut because they feel like they feel like they're delicate.
Perfect.
Okay. See if I can decorate backwards. Too tall? Maybe a little
Maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
Yep.
See? Keep going. Just small bits. Not a measure once, measure twice, cut once. This is just keep cutting.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Oh,
okay,
that's good.
I'm done. No, I'm kidding.
And then we can just add in, I would just say pick whatever you want. If you want to add in some of the brighter pink, or you can add in the pink, but we can probably do a little combination.
Okay, so we've got the what do you call these?
These are spray roses.
Spray roses, thank you. Okay.
And if there are any leaves that you want to take out, you can just pop off, and those are the guard petals. So if you see any ones that don't look so great, and these actually have a really pretty little yellow middle. So
oh my gosh!
Yeah. So
oh my gosh! Let's see if we can get these up close for you guys. In the center there, that's really pretty. Okay, I love this. Okay.
So maybe if we want to put those kind of higher.
Okay.
And then we'll work kind of around, and we can put some down, and we can kind of just tuck some in.
And so we're gonna fill in now that we have so this is high, this is middle, this is low. We're gonna kind of fill in those tiers.
Perfect.
No right or wrong way.
No.
We're just getting the tips that we can while she's here. Otherwise, I'd be just doing this on the fly. But while I can learn from her and
so
steal.
I would probably go 2 inches.
2 inches.
Yeah. Maybe even a smidge more.
I feel like
these
shears, which we will link, I can't not cut on a diagonal.
Yeah, they actually really do help with that.
It just happens. So that even if you're not consciously thinking about it and you're more worried about this, I feel like it's forcing me to cut on a diagonal.
Okay, good. Maybe a little.
I think it's too tall.
And you make adjustments as you go, because even I put them in there, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, to me, this is it's very similar to decorating, where you're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great, and you get it in, and you're like,
yeah, and you can change your mind.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so then I would probably go, let's do another shade, which is a little lighter one.
Okay.
And they come in bunches, so you can kind of see.
I love the bunch factor because I feel like it's helped, like, I feel like these are like pre-tiered for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would do another cut, and you're going to probably want to fill them in.
In the middle?
Yeah, a little bit lower than the darker pink. And again, we can kind of move around.
So I don't know if you guys, this is right or wrong, but I always just kind of like,
yeah, kind of
like set the flower to the table or whatever I'm working on so I can kind of see and kind of gauge, like, I got a couple more inches to cut or whatever it may be.
Perfect.
As my own visual.
Okay.
Do I want to take these leaves off here?
You can.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I need to take any guard off here?
Yeah, if you see a couple that you kind of think you
I'm afraid
need
I'm
to
gonna
take
break
off.
them.
Ooh, I kind of like the antique look, but I don't think that's kind of like the style for this particular arrangement. But yeah.
Well, you know I'm an antique. You said antique. I'm like, well, I'm not going to touch them now. Now I'm not touching them. Okay.
Perfect. I love it.
Did I smush you, Peony? Okay. This is hard decorating backwards, but I want you guys to be able to see it.
Yeah, and we can kind of see what looks really good.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then maybe we can add in, maybe do your peonies
Up here. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Doesn't need to be cut that
And
much.
flowers are always, I mean, they're beautiful as is. So, I mean, just don't be scared of trying something like this. And it's really fun.
No, this is so much fun. And the worst that, like, what's the worst that happens?
Yeah, and you can, honestly, if you really don't like what you created, you could take everything out and start again.
Yep.
And
Oh,
I've done that.
oh, you need to stand up. What am I
We can
doing?
probably, we can move the greenery around and kind of
And use
stick
it
it.
as, okay.
Yep.
The framework. Use your framework to hold your flowers
And
up.
if you wanted to tape off this vase, you could. I mean, it does make it a little bit easier to keep the flowers in place.
Yeah.
But it is kind of nice to know that you don't
You
necessarily
don't have
need
to.
it.
No, I kind of like the free flow where you have like, I feel like in my bigger vases now, I'll use the grid because I feel like that's where I always failed is when I have that big wide opening to create that structure because otherwise you're putting them in and they're just falling over. There's no way to arrange it.
Yeah.
And then I'd sit there in my hand and be like trying to arrange them and I'm like, this is way beyond what I'm able to do in my hands.
Right.
So I think that's a great trick. Okay.
Okay. So we'll keep the Paris in there. So kind of move it around.
Okay.
And then let's see. Let's go ahead and use some more peonies.
These are so pretty.
And you know, we also want to work with the back. So whatever you do to the front, you can actually add in some in the back,
Okay.
depending on where you're going to put the arrangement.
So I feel like I want like something in
Perfect.
in there.
Yep, fill it in. And we have one more of that. We have a couple more. We can add in some more greenery if we need it.
Okay. So am I facing it this way? So when I'm working on the back, am I facing it
You are.
towards me or towards the front?
Towards you.
Okay. Maybe a little more?
Maybe a little more.
Okay.
And then we'll add another one in the back.
So this is literally like, you know, watching as if I was decorating something where you're like, you put it in and it's like, is there still space? Is there still gaps? So it's kind of
Absolutely.
that same idea of filling in those voids,
Right.
which is where I like. So again, the tiered working from top, you know, high to low, picking the highest point, your lowest point, and then filling it in is making this so much easier where I can now see like, oh, there's a gap here, there's a gap here.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't have thought of it that way.
Yeah. Okay, and so then we have one more space. What do you think? Do you want to put one right there?
Yeah, in
Okay,
here.
perfect.
Okay.
Maybe a little
So
one.
we're gonna put it, if we're looking at the back side, we're gonna put it in here.
Perfect.
Then I'm gonna use my little height trick.
And I'm going to use this little greenery in the middle.
Okay. Kind of fill that in. Okay,
Okay, good.
perfect.
And then, I don't know, I'm thinking we can add in a little more of the Paris.
The Paris.
So let's do that. Just
Okay.
add a little more in the front.
I want to put something up there. Can we do that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I want like a pop of pink up here. So I'll show you
Okay.
guys like when I'm looking at this, I want like more pink right there.
Okay.
See, look at that. 2 seconds and I'm already like, I can do this. No. But you know what you like and that's the whole point. So there's,
Absolutely.
it's like decorating where there's no right or wrong. Somebody may come in and say, this is the way you're supposed to do it, but there really is no,
There isn't.
it's not a real rule.
No.
They're guidelines.
Absolutely.
Anybody watch Pirates of the Caribbean? I always laugh at that part where they're like, the code's really more like guidelines. Think of it like that. I think I like putting it left. Let's see.
I love that.
Just like,
Yeah.
because it's just,
Well, give us a little height. There was
Yeah.
So you're right.
Yeah.
I was missing something right
okay, yay.
Love it. Okay, and then maybe some more. You want to try Paris? Maybe.
Yes.
In front? Okay.
So this stuff, you guys, I have never seen this. So if I find it in any local floor, you said it's at Carl's?
It's at the Carlsbad Floral Market.
Okay, so if you're local, but if you have markets near you, this is, let's see if we can get this like super up
This is
close.
beautiful.
This is just so pretty. Look at this, you guys.
There's tons of texture.
This is
movement.
beautiful. I don't know why it's making me think of like tiny miniature grapes, which is probably so wrong, but it's
No,
kind
no,
of got
no.
that like
Yeah.
like that Sonoma, like Tuscan, like, I don't know. Love this. Okay.
Yes.
But this feels like a lot for this.
It
little,
is.
Okay.
So why don't we probably just pick probably this branch.
That branch.
Well, why don't we try one?
Okay.
We'll see, and
So how would I cut this?
So you're gonna cut, depending, I mean, you could, because it's all on one stem, I would just, because it's a short vase, I would just cut from here.
Okay. And it's still gonna get water?
Yep.
Okay. So just kind of cut it and
Perfect.
I'm just gonna use this piece?
Yep,
Okay.
and I would just put that right in the front, right in front of the peonies. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it.
And this is your arrangements. If you don't, you can do it.
You're right, I can. I love that.
Okay, and then you can kind of see what else you need. You can actually add in some
Show you
filler.
guys. Okay, so we just added that second piece in here, so it's up higher, and then we still have that lower drape before.
And this
That's
is,
really
again,
fun.
an arrangement we didn't have a plan. So we're just
No
kind of
plan.
going off the cuff, like you said.
It's really fun.
Yeah. Let's see, do we need anything
And what I
else?
like is that let me move you guys so you can kind of see. So she came with 5 bunches of flowers. Look at all the extra flowers. So if you really wanted to like spice up, you know, the fireplace or like really get very springy in the house, with those bunches of flowers now, if you have a couple different vases, like you could even do make one big arrangement with all 5 maybe.
Absolutely.
This is just the decorator, so you could stop if I'm wrong in the floral world and like piece some of it out. So where you have like maybe a really small vase that just has like 2 of the flowers or 1, and then like a in between that has 3.
Absolutely.
And then kind of like sparse it out, so you're getting the same look and like using this as your base and then working down.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
So a whole fireplace with 5 bunches of flowers could be done for spring.
Absolutely.
Yay.
And I maybe would think maybe we can lower this one.
Okay.
Because we have a high, middle, and then maybe have the green.
Because we're matching.
Yep.
We
Have
lost
it
the
in
tier.
there. That's okay.
We lost the tier. Look, you guys can see. Here and here. Okay, so we're gonna shorten this guy.
Shorten that guy.
I've always been afraid to do this, but I think I'm getting less afraid. Like when I have something, I'm like, okay, it's almost there. I'm always afraid to like
Change it.
change it. I'm like, I'm gonna get it back in the same way, but
You will.
it's because I never started with a framework, and I would just take all of my flowers and bunch them together and put
Which
them
also
in.
looks pretty though.
It does. I mean, and there's times like where I have tulips over there where I just, you know, I stuck them in a vase. And
Right.
it looks pretty because it's tulips and that works. But when I want something that's like really springy, like I could put this on my Easter table, like,
Absolutely.
and it's beautiful and it looks, just because of all the different, you know, ways that you taught us to like use a green, use a flower, and incorporate a couple different textures where
well, it looks professionally done.
it does. Well,
You know?
you're here. She's here. So it kind of is. But,
Did it.
you know, having like more structured and then that more fluffy look, I feel like it's making me so happy to look at this.
Yay.
Beautiful.
Okay, perfect. And maybe I'm thinking, what do you think? We need maybe one more. Want to add something right there?
Sure.
Yeah?
Why not?
Okay.
We have the,
What do you
it's not
think?
like we don't have the flowers. Let's do,
What do you think?
well, we've got, so let's see. I wish you guys could vote. So we've got pink, 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 more pink. I don't know if I want more green or more pink. Do we have more ranunculus?
Yeah, we have more green.
I don't know why I feel like I want more
Let's do green.
green.
I love
Yeah.
it. Perfect.
And what's the right way to say these? Ranunculus?
Ranunculus.
Ranunculus.
Yeah, ranunculus.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I've always pronounced it ranunculus. Very technical.
I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Here, wait, move over. You're out of my camera.
Okay.
You're out of the shot. Okay.
I love it.
Okay, so we can lower it. Okay.
Perfect.
And guess what? If we
That's
don't
so
like it, we
pretty.
can take it out.
We can take it out. Absolutely.
Okay.
And change it.
I'm going to move some of my hangy things, also known as leaves. Look at the things you learn.
I still have my own lingo for florals, which is funny.
I do, well, especially like
It's
with,
just
with the
your own
baking
way.
stuff coming up, I'm like, I laugh because I'm like, all my lack of technical terms are just laughable sometimes. But you know what? We learn. And,
We all have our own style.
you know, my mom named me Jacqueline, and it's always been shortened to Jack, and I think Jack of all trades. So a little good at a lot of things.
Oh my gosh, perfect.
Okay.
I love it.
I love it. Okay, let's
Done.
show you guys the finished product. Should we show you? We should probably show you. Okay, look at this.
And
In
it's-
this sweet, I love this vase.
I love this vase.
But
I'm
look
buying
at
this
this. This is amazing. This is so amazing. Okay,
And that's it.
this is incredible.
Simple. Store-bought
Okay.
flowers, and we didn't have a complete.
No, the
Yeah,
only
we're
the only cheap flower was this Paris, which
Yes,
is amazing. But you could again use seed eucalyptus and be just as good.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yay!
Okay.